Thanks, Trent. It is Local 6 Legal Line on this Thursday, entertaining Tara Swanson of the Bryant Law Center, answering your questions regarding criminal defense. And the number on your screen is the number to call, 1-888-208-6946. We'll try to get it answered before we get out of here in a little more than 3 minutes. And while we wait on questions, Tara, while we get started, there's a new DUI law that went into effect July 1st. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so there's a few different small changes that have been made, but the biggest thing that was changed has to do with your suspension and what's called an IID, which is the ignition interlock device. And that's the thing that you have to install in your car, and you blow in it and it sees what your alcohol level is before it'll let you actually start the car. And so the biggest change is that now all offenders are allowed to have an IID. Before it was only a second offense or higher, and now the suspensions have also been changed. Before, the judge and the prosecutor had a little bit of discretion on how long your license are suspended, and now it's set in stone. So for example, for a first offense DUI, if you are found guilty of that, you have a license suspension of maximum of 6 months, but if you are able to get an IID installed on your car, then that will reduce it down to 4 months. And then of course it's a similar pattern like that through subsequent offenses. So that's a pretty big change. IIDs cost money, and so that's something else you have to think about. Never drink and drive. It's just better to have a taxi, an Uber, or a friend to drive you to prevent any of that from being an issue in your life.
Plenty of options other than drinking and driving. We have a question from Jenny, who says, I was pulled over by the police for not using my blinker as I turned out of the parking lot. Am I really supposed to do that when I turn out of a parking lot?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know that, but the statute that deals with blinkers actually says, and I may get the wording a little bit wrong here, but basically it says anytime you're moving your vehicle in a way that may affect the flow of traffic, you have to use a blinker. So yes, that includes pulling out of a parking lot, because as you're pulling out of that parking lot, you are pulling into traffic, and you could be affecting traffic either oncoming or perpendicular to where you are. And so that is part of the law, and there are officers who will sit in various places, especially outside of bars and stuff, and when you don't use your blinker to pull out, they'll pull you over and check you for DUI as well. And we definitely appreciate those officers keeping us safe, but just keep that in mind that you do have to use your blinker when pulling out of parking lots.
Got about 30 seconds left. Real quickly, what felonies are expungable in Kentucky?
Yes, so that's actually a newer law as well. A year or two ago that was passed, and there is a pretty long list. I don't have them all memorized. Most of them are non-violent drug offenses, Class D felonies. And so if you want that list, you can Google it, you can call our office, and we'll be happy to see if your case is expungible. Only one felony case is expungible right now. So if you have 3 or 4 felony cases on your record, then you can only expunge one of them. So sometimes it doesn't make financial sense to do that because there is a fee to have your felony expunged. But just give our office a call, Google it, and we'll be happy to go through that list with you.
Okay, she's Tara Swanson of the Bryant Law Center in Paducah. We anticipate the arrival of Joe Rohr coming up here in just a couple of minutes on part 2 of Local 6 Legal Line. We'll have him entertain questions regarding divorce. Stay tuned, that's coming up in just a few minutes on Local 6 Midday.